Craft Brews and Casual Conversation, Strange Brew Edition. Rob and Drew along with you to bring you through some things, paranormal things, and other things about things.
You're spitting on that mic.
We're gonna be drinking a Scotch Ale. This is Dudes with Brews on a Porch.
Dudes with Brews on a Porch presents to you another edition of Strange Brews. Conspiracies, murder, ghost stories, aliens. They're all coming to get you, my dears.
In the loch.
In the loch, son. Yes, we are drinking in honor of our topic today. Hold on, my phone is not working well. Here we go. Loch Down Scotch Ale from Arcadia Brewing Company from our friends in Michigan. We've been drinking a lot of Michigan beers, I feel like, lately.
We're branching out.
Branching out a little bit.
Our epicenter is Wisconsin, and the shock waves of Dudes with Brews is working its way outward.
From Kalamazoo, Michigan. So our tribute to the Scottish Highlands, this beer offers a gorgeous garnet color. Would you call that?
Muddy brown.
It's very, yeah, I would say, I would agree.
Remember in the episode where we talked about flash floods? I'd say that's about the color of the water of a real flash flood.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. Joined by the aroma of ripe plums and freshly baked biscuits. It smells like shit. The rich, full-bodied texture.
It doesn't. I haven't smelled it yet. I'm just
reveals
saying.
Notes of roasted chestnuts and caramel in a smooth single malt style of brew. Caramel or caramel, balanced with just the right amount of hop character. This beer delights with a crisp alcohol finish.
Feels like an interrupty day. Feels like I'm going to interrupt you a bunch of times.
You might. It's okay.
I've started off well.
8% ABVs, 16 on the IBUs. As you said before, it looks like, yeah, it's pretty muddy. And, some of the breweries do listen to our episodes, just so you know.
I didn't say it actually. I was just joking, based on the fact that they said it has a great color or whatever, and this is the color. Then when they say and a great aroma, then what are you gonna assume? That's on them. That's not on me.
The fine folks at Stillmank,
Stillmank.
They listened to our episode.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
What'd they think?
They said they listened to it and they're glad we liked it.
That's good.
So.
We said nothing bad about their
probably
beer.
I probably mispronounced their name 800 times.
Yeah,
well, but Arcadia, I can say that right.
It does smell good. But it smells like this type of beer.
Yeah. It's a weird, I don't know.
It does have like kind of a sweet smell at the end.
You get that, like, when you drink it, you get like that alcohol burst. You know what I mean? Like when you drink alcohol and you can taste alcohol.
What kind of beer is this?
Like what's Scotch ale?
It's an ale. It really does drink like what's a Guinness? A stout?
A stout, yeah.
It kind of drinks like a stout to me.
Looks like a stout. I mean, maybe it's not as dark. It's a little lighter, but no, it's pretty.
Like the great Loch Ness. The ale hides right out in the wide open underneath the stouty, cloudy features of the beer.
Could be. Very well. Loch Ness Monster. We've talked about it a little bit, but not in great detail. I don't know what I mean. We haven't dedicated an episode.
No, yeah. What do you know about Loch Ness?
I just know it's been around for a long, long time, and that people see it sometimes and people don't. And I know for a long time there was like, it was recently in the recent years that Loch Ness sightings have been pretty low. I don't know if it was 2018 or what. I'm not really sure, but I'm on a website right now, Rob. And the last Loch Ness sighting was on February 27th. Caught on a webcam. Person named something. I don't know. E-O-R-I. My God. I don't know what's going on. I'm not myself. E-O-I-N. I don't know how I found an R in that.
Yeah, it's still Mank all over again.
Yeah, pretty much. He said that only on the screen of the live cam for a couple of seconds that he couldn't get any video, of course, but he saw it.
Do you believe him?
Sure.
Do you believe the picture?
There is no picture.
I mean, do you believe the picture, the original, the main picture?
Yeah, I do.
So you believe that Loch Ness is possible?
Oh, absolutely.
Or Nessie is possible?
Yeah,
because Loch Ness.
You don't know what's in the ocean, man.
Well, it's a huge crack it's like a big crevasse. A crevasse, and it's like really deep. I know that, and it connects to the ocean, so there is a possibility of an aquatic reptilian something out there. But I watched a couple documentaries on this over the years.
Okay.
Where they tried to recreate those pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like somebody actually came out, and I don't know if this is from this topic or our next topic, but somebody came out and was like, I faked it. I made that first. And what they did was they just went to a little bathtub-sized area of the little bayish puddle, and they zoomed in close on a little Lego-sized Loch Ness that floated.
Oh, really?
And it looked real. And they recreated it, and it looked real. I'm not saying that means it's fake. That means somebody maybe lied about faking it. Maybe
they fabricated it a little bit.
Yeah, that guy might be dead now because it's a huge tourist attraction.
There's another picture right here. If you look at it,
let me see.
From February 23rd, where a visitor from Manchester took this picture, and the dark colored creature rose about 3 feet out of the water for about 10-15 seconds and then disappeared into the surface. That little dot.
Yeah. I've seen some overheads like where you see the shadow underneath the water next to boats and stuff.
The interesting thing about Loch Ness is that people just are trying to find it. It's never hurt anybody. It's never done anything to anybody.
Well, how many people go missing in Scotland every year? You never know.
Very well. Could be. I mean, if you go to LochNessSightings.com, you're going to get all the sightings that are recorded. A lot of them have pictures. A lot of them are from very far away, but just might be.
I will say this, like there's always the skeptics like, oh, it's a log. It was just a log. And I always used to think like that, like, oh, what idiots? It's a log. Fuck you, log guy. It's not a log. What do you think? But then somebody recreated a picture with a log, and god damn it if it didn't look like the Loch Ness picture. I swear to God. I was like, all right, I got to let in credence. They showed me.
I mean, I don't think it's out of the picture that something like this exists, because not every single underwater creature has been discovered.
Yeah. Well, and that's like even with Bigfoot pictures, it's crazy to me. Like when they go, you got to have the same camera. It's got to be at the same time because the shadows could make it look like it's hairy or what. And it's like then they'll take a picture and it'll be not look anything like it, but they'll be like, it's conceivable that it could have been a person walking around in the middle of the morning by themselves on a mountaintop with us, or whatever. Like it's
sure.
like. Yeah, well, I guess what's more conceivable, a large ape man? To me, yes. I want the Bigfoot. I want it all to be real. I think I've said that before. I want Mothman real. I want Bigfoot to be real. I want Loch Ness to be real. I want Champ to be real.
Well, what do you think Loch Ness is? Do you think it's a serpent type creature, or it's a lake monster? What do you think
Monster's
it is?
A harsh term. I don't think it's a monster. I think it's like what manatees used to be. It's an unevolved manatee.
Manatees can go on the surface though, like on the ground and stuff.
No, they can't.
Manatees?
Yeah, manatees cannot.
Manatees, they stay underwater all the time.
I think they have to surface for air.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but they can't walk around on on the land.
Sure they can.
No, they don't have legs. They have flippers. Look up a manatee, man. They're sea cows.
They're on the surface though.
Right, you're right in, everybody.
They're on there, are they not?
They are not. They do not go on the land. I guarantee.
They never go on land?
I love manatees.
Manatees go on land all the time.
They do not.
So they just hang in water and breathe oxygen?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. How many manatees documentaries have you watched?
I didn't see documentaries. I read books. Motherfucker.
On manatees? Well, we'll talk about manatees.
Look up a picture of a manatee.
So
look up a picture.
I know what a manatee is.
No, you don't, because you think they have legs.
I don't think. No,
Then how do they go on the land?
They hop on. It's just like a walrus, dude. Walruses go on land.
I don't think you're right.
Walruses go on land.
No, walruses go on land.
It's just like a
but
manatee.
they've got bigger. I don't think that manatees go on land. I've never heard of a manatee being on land. Maybe I'm wrong. You've turned my 100% into a 95%.
You're right. God damn it. Manatees
What
never.
was that? What was that? Say that a little louder.
Manatees never leave the water, but like all marine mammals, they must breathe air at the surface. A resting manatee can remain submerged for up to 15 minutes, but while swimming, it must surface every 3 or 4 minutes.
So I mean, and I didn't mean it like definitely what manatees used to be is Loch Ness or whatever, but I just meant like a creature like that. Like they evolved into a creature like that, whereas, I mean, for all we know, it's a big ass gator or something, you know.
But don't you think if it were like a gator or something like that, it would have eaten somebody by now?
Doesn't like white people.
What?
We don't taste well. Scotland, that's a white area. It's Anglo-Saxon by design. That's where we came from. That's where Anglo-Saxons settled in Britain, man, Britannia.
Well, why is it called a monster? Why is it the Loch Ness Monster?
Because it was named before the PC culture, when everything that you didn't understand was called a monster.
The Loch Ness Monster has been captured and up for sale, according to a fun murder mystery from the UK back in the day. So it's bullshit.
Sounds like a board game.
Yeah, it could be. Very well could be. So
Buy the Loch Ness Monster in the board game, designed like Monopoly. It's designed to never create results and make everybody angry.
You know, I think everyone should just leave the Loch Ness Monster alone.
I think most people that hunt, quote unquote, hunt for Nessie, they don't want to kill Nessie. They want to photograph. They want naysayers to stop being naysayers, but what they don't realize is that pictures aren't going to do it. No matter how many you could get a picture of Nessie taking a selfie with you smiling, and they'd be like, that's fake. But granted, that would look pretty fake, but you know what I mean.
Well, something else we're going to talk about is Champ.
Yeah, let's talk about
just essentially America's
a little closer to home
Loch Ness Monster. And you said that they went as far as making laws against hurting Champ.
Yeah. There's a whole town that is dedicated to Champ. It's a Lake Champlain. It's not a creature. We'll call it a creature. We're a little bit more advanced here in America, so we don't say monster.
A lake monster.
Yeah, it's a lake creature. And New York has 2 laws on the books. One in 1981.
1981, huh?
It says here, Port Henry, New York declares their waters are a safe haven for Champ. 1982, the state of Vermont passes a House resolution protecting Champ. And in 83, New York, both the state assembly and state senate passed resolutions protecting Champ. So much like the Bigfoot in Oregon, it's a $10,000 fine to shoot a Bigfoot in Oregon. Or Washington,
oh, really?
One of those two. There are laws protecting Champ on the books.
So this is a freshwater lake monster. Is Loch Ness Monster, is that saltwater?
Yeah, that's saltwater. I think that's the difference between a lake and a loch is saltwater.
Is it? I have no idea.
I'm not 100% on that.
There's been over 300 reported sightings of Champ or Champy. Some people call him Champy. It's been considered to draw some tourism to the Burlington, Vermont, and Plattsboro.
Yeah, it's a huge
New York
attraction
area
over there. And it's been around for a long time because according here, it says P.T. Barnum offered a reward for $50,000 for the hide of the great Champlain serpent back in 1873. So already back in the late 1800s, Champ was...
So obviously, I guess it's not obvious. Do you think these creatures can live that long?
Well, that's the question, I guess. Or are there two of them at least that create? Would you, if you were? This is a question. I'm going to get off on a little bit of a tangent here, but if you were the last man on Earth, and there was one woman on Earth, would you have a kid, or would you be dooming your kid to a life of loneliness in doing that? Would you can you really continue the species?
If you run into other people.
I'm saying there are no other people.
Well, how do you know?
Just because for the sake of brevity.
No, I wouldn't have another kid.
Yeah, it's like, well, what is he gonna do?
Right.
You know, right? Like,
Right. You wouldn't have it. I wouldn't. No.
yeah, that seems
The
cruel.
human race is over.
Yeah,
Just hang out with whoever you meet, and
buy a bunch of condoms.
eventually you'll die.
Yeah.
You know.
Although, yeah, you know, that sounds like it wouldn't be good for you or her, but maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Just a quick question, just a little side question. I don't know, because I was just thinking that, like, if that's the case, like, eventually it's going to come down to there being no more, unless Loch Ness somehow, like, they meet up somewhere. That's a love story right there.
Well, to
There's
me-
a movie. Is Champ's kid meets up with Loch Ness or Nessie?
To me, it shows that I think it furthers the possibility of something like Loch Ness or Champ existing, because you've seen it in different locations. You've seen it in two different like parts of the world, and maybe they're just like a similar species. You know, they're of the same species, maybe a different breed or something like
Yeah,
that.
it begs the question: is this a human mind trick, where like humans are just are subject to seeing unknown things and going, "That's a monster or a creature that we don't know," and our curiosity mixed with our imagination creates a situation where on multiple continents you have these big sea serpent creatures, or are they real and there's actual sightings, but even though everybody has cameras and phones and everything nowadays, we still can't get a good picture of them? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's submarines diving around down there in the Loch Ness and in Lake Champlain. So.
Well, they say that there was a video that a guy took. His name is Dick, and his
This is the Champ video, right?
yeah, the Champ
Yeah, I've
video
seen this.
in
Okay.
2005. It says that it may be interpreted either as a head or a neck of a.
That's the one where the long neck is coming out of the water?
I'm not looking at the video. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, you see a lot of the sightings 2005, so it's been a little bit, been a while, so maybe it's gone forever.
Well, and it says here,
Goodbye, Champ.
I love you. You know, by 1992, the sightings totaled 180, with approximately 600 people claiming to have seen Champ. And now this includes sheriffs. This includes sea captains. There was a instance in 1945 where a bunch of passengers on the SS Ticonderoga claimed to have seen the creature. All of them saw it. So either they all got together and said, "Let's fool the public," or and nobody protested. Like nobody was like, "Fuck you guys, no." But the thing about Champ is more of a snake-like serpent, whereas Nessie is more of a brontosaurus-like dinosaur.
Right. So maybe this just goes to show that we need to do some more underwater biology type of research.
Well, and that's I'm trying to find.
Did you just cough?
No,
you didn't just cough.
Maybe I did. I didn't, if I did, it was unconscious. I went like this. I feel like maybe I did. Did I cough? I don't know.
I heard a cough. I just heard it again.
I have no. That time I did not. Could have been that. The fish is coughing.
You bringing ghosts around me?
They could be. They're coming from.
Hear my headphones.
We can talk about my little incidents at the end of the show too.
I'm very scared. Okay. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
But I'm trying to find. It says I'm trying to find how big the lake is, Lake Champlain. But it says here the monster, quote unquote. I guess we are not as sophisticated as I thought. Is about 187 feet long, with a head resembling a seahorse.
Okay.
That reared more than 15 feet out of the water. The man saw 3 teeth, eyes the color of a peeled onion. Interesting.
Huh. Well,
a white star on its forehead, and a belt of red around the neck. So he accessorizes. Champ accessorizes.
Vermont's really cashing in on this because their minor league baseball team.
Yeah.
It's called the Vermont Lake Monsters.
No, did you there's a town that literally everything is Champ. Everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they have t-shirts, mugs, sweatshirts, notebooks, laptop covers, stickers, Sounds familiar. By the way, just speaking of cashing in, check out our merch at tpublic.com/dudesbrews.
I guess that doesn't work. The URL is really messed up. So if you go,
I just went to TeePublic and then typed in Dudes with Brews.
Do that, yeah, and it'll come up, and then or you can look up or go on our Instagram or whatever and click that link in our About section.
But yeah, they have parades that honor Champ.
I don't really like this beer, to be honest.
You're drinking it fast enough.
Yeah, I am.
Alcoholic. That time I did cough.
Wow.
Harsh realities today on Dudes with Brews.
It's an intervention.
Yeah, today's Dudes with Brews. It's our last episode, hopefully.
Hopefully? That's what you said?
Well, if the intervention works.
Oh, they won't.
Everybody go home. Drew said it's not going to work.
Get out of here.
That's what you heard. Somebody was in the closet coughing.
Yeah, maybe.
Come out in secret.
Well, let's look at some other lake monsters, Rob.
There's got to be more, yeah.
There is. There's one in Thailand. It's called the Nang Hang Lake. Wait, is this just a lake?
We should say this before we
I thought it was a fucking monster.
Before we move on.
Oh God, I'm stupid.
The Bulwaga Bay area. If you want to go see Champ, there's a lot of sightings in the Bulwaga Bay area.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also where you're going to be able to get all your Champ, the Lake Champlain Monster memorabilia, because I think that's around the town where it is. But I will say this too before we move off of Champ, the pictures that I've seen, and I watched. There's a documentary on Amazon about it, and this is the one where I feel like somebody came forward and said I made it up and I made this picture, but the picture looks like straight up like a dinosaur. Check this out. Did you see this picture?
Dude. Gonna take a quick break here to talk to you about Podcoin. If you like Dudes with Brews on a Porch, Podcoin, the app that pays you to listen to this podcast and every podcast, it's a podcast player that pays. Just get the Podcoin app on the iPhone or Android. Free, super easy to use. You can use the Podcoin you earn to claim gift cards or donate to charity. It is amazing. Turns your podcast listening into charity. Or if you like to just get some Amazon, Starbucks gift cards, you can do that too. I use Podcoin app. I use it every day, all the time. Gets me through my nights. I definitely suggest that you get it as well. I'm looking forward to spending it on some cool stuff. It is crazy. It's off the chain. Seriously. Just get the Podcoin app. Invite your friends. Use Dude Brews. Promo code Dude Brews. You get 300 Podcoins just for signing up right there if you use the Dudes with Brews Podcoin word thing. Sign her up. 300 Podcoins just for signing up if you use code Dude Brews. Give Podcoin a try. And now back to our lovely conversation. It does look like a dinosaur. No idea.
Yeah, like you can't mistake that for a branch. But the thing is there is a horizon in the background of the picture, so it doesn't look like it's small. But I feel like they kind of like somebody made put a little plastic head on a floaty thing with a motor.
Yeah.
And sent it out, and they recreated the picture, and it looks really quite similar. I'm not saying that makes it not real. I'm just saying it was able to be recreated.
Yeah, I mean, you can recreate a lot of things, though. I feel.
Yeah,
like.
yeah. You're literally trying to recreate it. So I mean, we are apes who know how to use tools and stuff. So it's like
Montana has the Flathead Lake Monster, which is essentially the same thing. You know, it's a monster living in this lake.
There's not much you can say about it. I mean, these are deep lakes. I don't know how deep that lake is, but they're lakes that it's really not possible to just drag the lake.
Well, here's a story about it. So according to the story from a long time ago, there seemed to be kind of a native tribe lived in the area. We're talking about the Flathead Lake Monster here. There's a winter. People were crossing the frozen lake to move a camp. Two girls saw antlers approximately 2 feet in length, protruding through the frozen ice. Thinking the antlers belonged to an animal, they decided to chop them off and take them. What the fuck?
That'd be my first thought always.
Yeah, you just see it busting through some ice. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take these. They thought they belonged to animals. They chopped them off. They used those. They used sharp edged rocks to cut up through the ice where the antlers suddenly started shaking. the ice all around them split open, and the head of a monster appeared through the ice shaking. So this is different. This is a lake monster, but this is a fucking monster, dude. And then it went through the ice, shaking its giant antlers. The girls used their special powers to transform into a ball and buckskin target to escape the monster. What the fuck? But half the tribe drowned in the lake.
Dang. That went south quick.
So this is like a legitimate monster.
Yeah, well, I've got there's a whole list. Bear Lake has a crocodilian type monster.
Okay.
I mean, it's not numbered, but it's literally like 3 pages of places throughout the world. Lake Tota in Colombia there's the devil whale called Diablo Ballena. First reported sighting 1652. There's seriously like 50 lake monsters on here created throughout the world. Not all of them have descriptions, which is kind of weird. But like we've got monster crocodilian, serpentine, like the belt. Dragon that dwells in rivers and lakes of Canada, especially Lake Ontario. This dragon flies on a trail of fire and can also spew fire. Ooh.
Nice.
I don't know. There's not a name for it. That's interesting. It's in Lake Ontario though.
So there's a lot of things in the water that we're unaware of. Whether or not it's
do you believe in mermaids?
I watched a documentary.
Did you
about
see that?
Mermaids. Yeah,
with that guy Robert something or whatever.
It was on AMC one time after Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
I watched
and it was like the cell phone footage and God, I want that all to be real, but it looks so fake. I wanted it to be. I was like, oh my God, I want to believe in mer people.
Be pretty interesting, but I think it's safe to say that.
Just because I was in the dragon, the meteor dragon from Lake Ontario is. I wish it had a pronunciation guide because this is really difficult. It's Gasiandiatha. Here, you take a try because this is always funny to me.
Well, when I try to read?
Yeah, when you try to read this top word.
Yeah, Gassy. Gassianthia? Dietha? I don't fucking know, dude.
The word diet's in the name, so.
Dietha.
New soda, Dietha.
Well, I guess we can kind of move away from this because.
Do you think they're dinosaurs? Do you think they're their own creature? Do you think they're actually monsters? Do you think they're alien in nature? What
dinosaurs?
No, these lake creatures.
Oh, these creatures, lake creatures.
I'd say hundreds of years.
Prehistoric for sure. There's sea turtles can live 150 to 200 years or whatever. So
I feel like lobsters are immortal. Have you heard that?
No.
I think lobsters are immortal.
I'm pretty sure they die.
Because we kill them. But did you hear about that one that they found that was like seriously like the size of it was like, I think it was like 3 feet long or something?
No, but I feel like you can't. We'd be we'd be taken over by lobsters by now if they were immortal.
Oh, well, somebody made a movie about that back in the 50s during the monster movie craze, so we've been on the watch. Check this out. 44-pound, 6-ounce lobster, estimated to be over 100 years old.
Yeah, I believe they can live a long time, but I don't think nothing's immortal, dude, except for cockroaches.
Jellyfish? Was it jelly? Maybe it's jellyfish?
I don't know.
Lobster.
My wife is back.
Mortality.
I just heard her car. But
let's look it up.
Lobster mortality.
Yeah, lobster mortality. Man, I will say in the last episode, like there's like a really like I was listening to it and I was like, all of a sudden all the audio went away and I was like, what just happened? And it was you talking to her.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Here, eventually a lobster will die from exhaustion during a molt. Older lobster also stars 3154. Yeah, you're right. Okay, but biologically immortal.
But anyways,
Lobsters can theoretically live forever because getting older does not raise their chance of dying. An enzyme known as telomerase prevents the DNA in lobster cells from being damaged as they are replicated.
Huh. Learn a lot about monsters.
Yeah.
Oh, not monsters. Lobsters.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's move on. Yeah, there's not much to say about lake monsters. They're big, they're elusive, and they live in lakes.
Or oceans.
Yeah, or oceans.
They're in your water. They could be in your toilet bowl.
Everybody said the
Could be in
giant squid
your
was not real until they caught it on camera,
and it was real.
and now it's real.
But you have a little update on your paranormal life, your paranormal experiences. You live in an apartment, for those that don't know, of a person who was murdered in your apartment. And yeah, some weird thing happened the other day.
Well, honestly,
Last
things
week.
have been getting just yesterday. I was sleeping and I had some really weird noises and stuff happening, and then I got that feeling of like somebody. I shot up out of bed. I was like afraid. I was just super afraid. This was just yesterday, cause I was laying in bed, and I saw one of the what seemed to be like the shadowy outline of something, and there was nothing there that caused the shadow. I don't know if it was my eyes playing tricks on me, but there was other stuff happening, like things like louder noises in the room than normal, and then the bed has been doing the thing where it moves again, really bad, worse than it used to, just kind of like this kind, like that kind of, and this was like
violently,
like it was like really moving. It was really weird. It was because it's not for people that haven't heard the story of what happens in my apartment. It sways. My bed will kind of sway back and forth, and it puts me to sleep. But this was not. This was pretty a lot more. There was a lot more left to right movement of it, where it was really disorientating a little bit. But the other day I was typing in I've turned my closet. I took everything out of my closet.
It's a walk-in closet.
Yeah, it was a walk-in closet. I took all the shelves. Yeah,
a sliding closet where
yeah. I'm crouched in there on my knees. But the hangers used to make a lot of noise and stuff after when I would go to bed, and there was no wind in there or anything.
Sure.
So it was bothering me, and I didn't like that. So I took everything out of there, and I made a little office in there, and that's where I podcast or type or write, whatever. So I was writing in there the other day. This is a week ago now. It was last weekend.
Maybe.
Not this weekend, last weekend. Because this really really messed me up for the day. Because I was sitting there typing, and then right next to my left ear, I just heard a female voice whisper, "Help me," in my ear. And it I don't know what you're supposed to do in a situation like that, but I
nah, bitch, I ain't helping you.
yeah, right, what's in it for me? But so I sat there for a while, and then I said, can you give me some, call me an idiot if you want, but I said, can you give me another sign, or a sign that I didn't just, I knew I wasn't just hearing things, because it was so clear and it was right in my ear. And then I heard on the other side of my head a faint screaming noise. In which case I got out of the closet. But for the rest of the day, I was for the next 2 days, really, I was in a really bad funk. I was couldn't get it out of my head. I couldn't. I was just sitting in my room in silence, just listening and what do you do in that situation? Because
you should move.
That's what everybody says, but now I've got there's a call to action there. Help me. How do I help?
What can you do?
I don't know, but moving away isn't helping.
Is it like Casper, where she's got some unfinished business and you gotta do that? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's something.
Call Devin Sawa.
Somebody mentioned to me that maybe there's something in the apartment, something like a tooth or a.
Oh, God!
They chopped her into pieces in my apartment. So
yeah, they did. It was just one guy that did it, wasn't it?
Yeah, one guy. Somebody told me to go and visit that guy in jail. So
why would you do that?
Once we get a field recorder, I'll do it.
I'm pretty sure we'd have to get clearance for that.
Yeah, well, we probably can.
You
I'm
think?
being haunted, motherfuckers. Give me the clearance. So go. Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll let you talk to him. You think that'd be the thing we could do?
Well, that's just what somebody mentioned. They said, because they were like somebody that a new friend of mine.
Where is this guy?
I don't know. This was just suggested to me because I've looked into the background of the person that got killed.
Yeah.
But remember when I saged and I got all those protecting amulets that were like blessed and all that?
Sure.
And things got really bad when I put that stuff up in my apartment. Things were falling off my dresser. Pictures were falling. Jenny was getting scratched. Things got pretty bad when I put that stuff up, and I started going crazier and crazier. Now, like, I want to believe that I was getting crazy because I had a girlfriend that didn't respect me as a human fucking being, and insulted my intelligence all the time, nonchalantly. Don't edit that out. No one needs to hear that. But either way, like, that was my interpretation of why I was kind of going crazy, because like my emotions were being played with. But at the same time, like, after we saged and stuff, there were a couple like people that I know that look into spirits and stuff, like they believe in all that stuff. They were like, well, maybe you got rid of one spirit, but there was some demonic force there that created the situation for this guy to murder his girlfriend.
Sure.
And so like which it was very out of my nature to be angry like that, to be like to get so aggressive and to be so emotionally like on edge all the time. That's not my personality. So like it did like explain things in a weird way. It could have been either or, and I don't like to just jump to paranormal things and be like, oh, that's it, it's a ghost, it's this, it's a demon. That's not my normal mode. But I will say that would have made sense. Can you hear when I'm moving the mic? Is that the problem? Oh, I thought you just gave me a look. Maybe it's because I'm being an idiot and this stuff.
I'm just listening.
But either way, so that's like where it would be advantageous to talk to this guy and go, hey, like, are you a fucking murderer, or were you just going out of your mind for some reason and you couldn't put your finger on it?
Sure.
I probably would phrase it differently. But yeah, I didn't. It's just something that somebody threw out there. They said, go talk to that guy and see what he was experiencing before the murder.
Huh.
It's not the first person to die in that building. Somebody else killed themselves in the downstairs apartment there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, when I lived in those apartment complexes, different building, person before me that lived there died in the apartment as well. Nothing happened though.
Yeah.
Or did it?
This is pretty violent.
Right.
Death, so it's
Yeah, it wasn't.
But that's the update. There's we're getting to that. This is it's like fall and spring. Or like early winter, early spring. Those are the two times of the year that things get really bad, and then things tend to be pretty chillax throughout the rest of the year. Stuff still happens, but not as much. Like, it gets bad right like in this time period.
So are you gonna move?
Months. Not at the moment. I'm not planning on it.
No.
No.
You like living there?
I hate moving.
Yeah, that's true. Moving sucks. Things sucks. But
I'll take a ghost over lifting things.
Really?
Any day.
Really?
Yes. I'm lazy. I'm a lazy person.
What if it whispered like, Robert? Would you freak out?
That would be interesting, to say the least. I mean, if it started saying shit like, I'm gonna kill you in your sleep, then I might start thinking about moving.
What if
that would make me think about moving? I don't know what it would. I don't know what it would take to move. If I'll murder you in your sleep doesn't make you move.
What if you What if you were able to have like full conversations with this entity, and it was a lady or whatever, and then it's just like, Robert, I think I'm falling in love with you.
Then I ain't moving. I ain't moving for nothing.
You're staying?
Oh yeah.
And then you'll wake.
Who doesn't want? I mean, then I'm gonna write a screenplay about the boy who had a ghost fall in love with him.
Would you watch like horror movies together? Would you watch scary movies or do you think the ghost would get offended?
No,
like,
I think I wouldn't watch ghost movies with a ghost because I'm a scaredy cat and I wouldn't be able to cuddle up to the ghost.
You guys get in an argument and you throw on Casper. Oh, this is because I'm dead, huh? You're You're dead.
Slam all the doors you want.
You're dead on the inside and the outside.
Yeah. Your cold heart.
Your cold heart. Oh man, that would be fun.
Your heart is as cold as every room you enter.
I think that's a movie waiting to happen right there. Relationship with the ghost. They fall in love, and they.
That's what the guy who wrote Ghosts of Girlfriends Past
that's
was trying
movie?
to write, but then Hollywood got their hands on it, and Matthew McConaughey
Ghosts
signed
of-
on.
Matthew McConaughey's in that movie.
I think so.
I don't know. I don't really know that I've ever seen it.
I've seen the cover of it, and I've seen like the same 10 minutes of it over and over again. Because you know how like they play movies at the same intervals on.
Right.
I just remember back, I don't know, when I was living somewhere with cable. It was either at Martina's house or my parents' house. I would get done with work in the morning. I think I was on 6 shifts, so I'd get home at 6 in the morning. And if the TV was on in the living room or whatever station it was on, they'd be playing that movie. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. That's not interesting to anybody. Sorry.
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like I'm in a funk. I'm tired. I don't want to go back to work.
Well, yeah, we didn't even do an episode on Wednesday. Normally, we record on Wednesday, and I called Drew, and I said, "Sorry, I'm running late, Drew. I'm really tired. I was falling asleep at work last night." And you were like, I was just sleeping right now. And I was like, oh, man, what's up? Are you? And he's like, I've been really tired. And I was like, well get some fucking sleep.
Get some fucking sleep.
Yeah, we'll record this later.
And then I felt really sick. My stomach has been hurting a lot consistently for like 2 weeks. It's not good.
Yeah, no.
Probably should get checked out, but I won't.
You have a ghost in your tummy. The
Oh,
ghost
yeah?
of tacos past.
If only you were that. But yeah, I don't know. Even I got a good amount of sleep, and I'm still just exhausted.
Well, I think
I don't know
once
what's
you're,
going on.
when you don't sleep enough, and then you do get a good night's sleep, then your body rebels and goes, "This is what I've been missing out on."
Give me more.
Yeah. It's like a mild cocaine addiction.
Okay.
Sleep addiction. But
Well, we're gonna go do some coke right now, and then just kidding.
yeah.
It's gonna be a shorter episode a little bit this week, Rob, because we have a couple things we gotta
Because Rob was late.
get ready for. No, that's okay.
And we've got another episode to record after this.
Right.
Well, let's take this opportunity at the end here. We're getting to the end. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
To throw out. Because after we're done with this second thing that we got to do, we're going to go through and release the other podcast, right?
Yeah.
So Moody will be out now when this hits, I believe, right?
It should be.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the first episode of Moody will be available. Go and check that out.
So it's like a podcast about Californication, the series starring David Duchovny.
Yeah, it's first installment of a 3-part series of podcasts where we go through David Duchovny's entire catalog. We decided for some reason to start with Californication because it's a great show.
It is a good show.
Then we're going to do X-Files, and then we're going to do every other thing.
Oh,
All his movies, all his little side appearances, I don't know if we're going to go through and do all of his interviews and whatnot, but
No.
Just all of his scripted roles.
so we're going to be doing this for like 30 years.
Yeah, you guys haven't gotten rid of us by any means. But yeah, and that's part of a series we like to call To Duchovny.
And beyond.
Yes.
Check it out, baby. We drank Loch Down Scotch Ale by Arcadia Brewing Company. It is a Scotch Ale / a wee heavy, is what it says on Untapped. Wee heavy.
Like the mystery of Loch Ness, and like the name, it's hard to lock down what this beer is. It looks like a stout, tastes kind of like a stout, but it's an ale.
Yeah.
I could take it or leave it.
I would say the same. I did not finish it. I don't think I'm going to, just because for the sake I'm very tired.
I will say.
Go ahead.
Like I said, interrupty day. I like Guinness. I'm a Guinness fan. This might be something that I replace Guinness with in terms of on a night where I want to drink a Guinness or whatever. It's lighter than a Guinness, but you still get the taste of a stout. But I don't think it'll fill me up as fast.
I just didn't like. I didn't like the very like upfront alcohol taste to it. You know what I mean?
I didn't even get that.
I'm getting it a little bit. I don't know.
Drew's got a more refined palate than me.
I don't know about that, but I just don't. I don't know if I.
Don't be shy. Don't be modest. Embrace your palate.
I just don't. I don't know, man. This isn't something I would necessarily reach for. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. I definitely recommend you try it. I'm not. I do enjoy porters and stouts, but I don't reach for them, and I don't like necessarily like seek darker beers. But I just know it's been a little bit, and I didn't even think this was gonna be that dark, but because we got an oatmeal stout too eventually for a future episode. But I was like, oh, we got to get, I can't just be doing ales and all that shit, or lagers and all that, because we got to do variety for the people. The people need to hear it.
Yeah, one of these episodes we're gonna have to go through and actually like define what all those words mean, because for me, I don't know. I just know
it's how they're made.
Stouts are dark and
what they're made
filling,
with.
and ales are not.
Usually, yeah.
IPAs are sour, and
IPAs.
I don't know. Do you like them?
Sours are sours.
See, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We need to clarify all this stuff. We need to have an episode that's called Beer Drinking 101. Because I'm new to this. You're 87, 90, almost 100 episodes in. I'm only 25 episodes in, 30 episodes in.
It's been, I don't know. You've been on more than 30, hasn't it?
It's got to be coming up. It's got to be. I might be coming up on 40. I don't know. I haven't counted since I became the co-host.
Well, that's all right. But yeah, drink it or dump it, Rob.
I'm gonna say drink it. Just don't waste that beer. But
I'm gonna say dump it.
Yeah, you're gonna say dump it. All right. Well, we're allowed to clash. I like stouts, and like I said, it's it's similar to a Guinness, and except for it's less filling, and
yeah.
There's a little bit more flavor to it. Like Guinness
Sure.
has a really, Guinness is a flavor unto itself, whereas this has other nodes in it.
Right. All right.
Did I use that term right? Nodes?
I think so.
All right. Sweet.
Nodes.
Nodes.
Pew pew audio. Goodbye, everyone.